here for a lifetime underneath the moonlight. Cause I don't want us to go. No, I don't want us to go. Yeah, you could be my lifeline, you could be my sunshine. In a world so full of pain, can you make it go away? It used to be so sad that love was lost, but now it's here to stay. Yeah, I used to be uncomfortable, but look at me today. Never thought I'd find someone like you, someone to show the way. But now I know you're the answer to my prayer. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough of us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I'm sorry for the burden, sorry I was hurting, but my scars are almost healed. Yeah, my scars are almost healed. Yeah, I'm feeling like a child now. Everything's alright now, and it's all because of you. You made the flower in me bloom. Used to be afraid of everything, but now there's no more fear. Yeah, I used to let nobody in and hide my face with tears. Always thought of you as someone who can love someone like me, but I was wrong, baby. Now I believe. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough of us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough of us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe in
You and me.
you and me, you and me.
Hey. 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 Three, two, one. Hello, beautiful people. I'm so sorry we started 10 minutes late, but we're here. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Danae Show. I am Danielle Danea, aka Danae, and I've got a lot to say. So let's get into it. Illegal immigrants, illegal migrants, illegal aliens are criminals. Let's talk about it. So I think this is crazy that this even needs to be reiterated, needs to be said repeatedly, but we live in today's times, common sense isn't as common, right? So, I can't be too mad at it because, I without, people not having common sense allows me to show you what that looks like. So it gives me a platform, gives me a voice. So here I am. So why I'm talking about this today is because President Donald Trump just recently gave a generous offer to any illegal immigrants that are here in the U.S. And the offer was that if they're willing to leave, just come in and turn themselves in, that he will give them $1,000 starting out and a free flight back to wherever they came from, their home country. And, it's interesting that a lot of people were like, these people these illegal immigrants, illegal aliens, illegal migrants, they make way more than $1,000, and they're not gonna, come with that Jennifer's offer, even if it's the flight is also covered. They're not gonna do that, which I agree. There's some people I know are here illegally that work around me, and they make a lot of money. And also to that point, people that are committing crimes, they don't care if you give them a Jennifer's offer like that, an opportunity to do the right thing. They knew they were doing the wrong thing when they came over here, and they're gonna, stick beside it. They're gonna stick beside their wrong decisions. So I absolutely believe that. And that just furthers my point that, criminals are being rewarded, and it's just crazy. It's really crazy. I can't imagine any other honorable, respectable world leader looking at people that came into his country illegally and being like, oh, well, it's fine. I know you were struggling in your other country. And even though you broke our laws, it's okay. You broke our laws in order for us, what it says in our laws for you to come over here the right way. But, there's grace there. No, a criminal is a criminal, guys. I don't get why illegal immigrants somehow get a pass just because they might have been struggling. Again, you don't know that for sure. Yes, America is one of the countries that are most forward when it comes to, I guess, freedoms, when it comes to, having the right to vote, having the right to wear certain things. But it doesn't matter. If you want to enter into this country, you do it the right way. If you really respect us as a country, you would abide by our rules. People think criminals only look like people who commit murder, who steal, who, do the extreme crimes. I'm like, a crime is a crime, guys. It doesn't matter if they're over here looting or robbing. They were criminals the moment they entered into our country without doing it by the book. Again, I don't get why this needs to be said, but it does, apparently, because a lot of people, like I said, lack common sense and clearly don't understand what a criminal actually is. So knowing me, I don't want to just speak off my opinion. I like to speak off facts. Y'all know I'm a firm believer in facts over feelings. So I brought up this article. I literally just Googled, guys. Google is free. I don't know why Google isn't used more often by people. Literally, if you just do a quick Google search, you'll learn so much. I promise you. I put U.S. laws about immigration and AI. Usually, I don't go with the AI. I usually answer because sometimes it's usually a little off. But for this topic, it was spot on. So it says the main federal law governing U.S. immigration policy is the Immigration and Nationality Act, INA. This act, enacted in 1952 and amended numerous times, provides the foundation for how immigrants can enter, stay, and potentially become citizens in the United States. The INA also outlines provisions for visas, green cards, and naturalization, as well as for asylum and other forms of legal relief. So here's they also list a breakdown of the Immigration and Nationality Act, the INA. So here it goes. Number 1, look, it says the INA is the cornerstone of the U.S. immigration law, defining the rules and procedures, It establishes the rules and visas available each year for immigrants for different countries, The INA outlines the process for attaining a green card. See, another one of those points was, if there's people here on visas or that seek asylum that Trump is trying to get to return to their home country. It's like, no, those are not the people he's talking about. Stop. He's talking about the people that are here illegally that the government did not give asylum for. Like, stop using extremes. Stop using examples that are not valid examples to try to prove your point. Why? It doesn't even make any sense. Why would the government allow somebody to seek asylum and then just automatically send them back to where they came from? Like, huh? That's evil of the U.S. And I'm not saying it happens, but that's not what Trump is behind. That's not what this offer, that's not who this offer was intended for. It was intended for, again, the people that came here just because they wanted to come here for their own selfish reasons and not follow instructions. Typically, people seeking asylum are in danger in some way, shape, or form back in their home country. So they're seeking protection. Obviously, we all know this. No, these people that are coming here illegally typically are not seeking protection. They just want a better life, the easy route. Because it is a process. Don't get me wrong. It takes a long time. But you got to do what you got to do. If you want to come here, you got to play by the rules. You got to abide by the rules in order to not be punished for breaking them. Again, common sense. It just further lists. I want to go all the way down to the bottom, but it lists the visas policies, as you can see. Right here. The INA defines grounds for deportation, including those who violate immigration laws or are found inadmissible. See? So this is it's so crazy. Like a criminal, guys. If I gotta break down, the definition of a criminal. Somebody who is a criminal is somebody who commits a crime. And what's the definition of a crime? It's something that breaks a law. And we have laws against people coming here illegally. So, again, I think they should endure way worse fates. I think Trump is more than generous. I explained this to one of my colleagues, more than generous with this offer, but I think he's just trying to get peace. And, you know, he's seeing the outrage. The immigration, I think, is the biggest problem, or people that don't like Trump. That's the main thing why they don't. I think maybe close up behind that is the my body, my choice thing. But immigration, I think, is one of the biggest things. So I think Trump was just like, you know, let me extend an olive branch and give these criminals, offer them a free flight home to do the right thing. And yeah, but if it was me, but I trust Trump. Obviously, I believe he's a very smart man, a very smart leader. He's very strategic in his moves. That's why he's so successful in his businesses. But it's like, why are we rewarding criminal behavior? I think that sets a precedent for how, people are going to move further on. Like, oh, I can just come here illegally and then Trump's going to offer me a flight home. Now, I don't think this is permanent. I think this is for the people that are just here and it's right now. And it's a one-time offer. And past a certain point, it's going to be gone. But if you ask me, it shouldn't have been offered in the first place. But again, I trust Trump. Hopefully, it'll have the outcome he wants it to. But again, I just don't see criminals, all of a sudden having a conscience, being like, you know what, yeah, I came here. Because they don't see themselves as criminals, again. So if you don't think you did anything wrong, why would you, take an offer like that? But you guys, again, the visa policy, immigrants typically need a visa to enter the United States. So if you don't have a visa, you are here illegally, you are a criminal, you are committing a crime, right? Visas are issues for very varied reasons, such as work, study, tourism, or family reunification. Again, these are given by the government. If you do not have these, then you are not here legally. It's so funny. I see so many, like, there's specifically a music video director who talks all the time about his parents coming here illegally and brags about it. It's like, are you bragging about committing a crime? But again, it's so normalized in American culture. It's so weird. And everybody in the comments were like, oh my gosh, congrats to you for having your parents coming here to make a better life for you and to live your dream as a music video director. Forget that your parents committed a crime. As long as you're out here making money so they can make themselves have a better life. Make them have a better life. Ridiculous. They love to use the word undocumented. I'm like, no, you're a criminal. You're a criminal. Someone without documents is a criminal. You have to have documents in order to be in the U.S. You just do. Crazy. So the visa policy, again, there's that. There's again the asylum and refugee policy. The Refugee Act of 1980 governs asylum and refugee policy in the United States. Individuals who fear prosecution in their home country may apply for asylum or refugee status. Again, in imminent danger, usually this is given to somebody. Again, most of these illegal immigrants are not in any danger. They just want the American dream. Naturalization is the process by which a permanent resident can become a U.S. citizen. Again, a process, right? Requirements of naturalization include meeting residency requirements, passing an English language and civics exam, and taking the oath of allegiance. You know, a lot of these immigrants, illegal immigrants, cannot speak any English. Not even the basic hello, goodbye, how are you? I know that. I know that in Spanish, pardon me. So the fact that they come here and don't even bother to learn not to be fluent, but enough to get by, right? They don't even bother to do that. The disrespect. I couldn't imagine thinking I belonged in a country or deserved all the rights that these other citizens had when I don't even bother to learn their native language. Again, we visit all the time. You guys know I went to Mexico, shot a commercial, and then I came right back. Because a part of me felt like I had no rights to be there. I didn't know the language. It was cool to shoot the shots. It was cool to see the scenery and meet new people, but it's not home. And I wasn't willing to make it my home. So I had no problem going back to my home country. And other people should have that same mindset. Other relevant laws and policies. The Immigration Reform and Control Act of 1986 provided legalization for certain unauthorized immigrants and imposed sanctions on employers who hire unauthorized workers. The Deferred Action of Childhood Arrivals, DACA program allows certain undocumented immigrants who came to the U.S. as children to receive temporary protection from deportation and work permits. Now, a lot of people also are against the deportation of illegal immigrants because they have to be separated from their kids. Again, you commit a crime, you know the risk. You know the risk. And typically the child is born in the U.S. Typically in these instances where the child stays behind and the mother or father has to leave. Because obviously it's all, when you're born here, you are a U.S. citizen. But again, yes, it's messed up. Yes, it's messed up to separate a child from the adult, but the adult made the bad decision. And there's consequences for it, unfortunately, guys. When you make bad decisions, there's consequences. Common sense. The fact that temporary protection is offered, it's again, super nice. The Immigration Act of 1990 made several important changes to the INA, including increasing the number of visas available each year. Great. Now, enforcement. This is the most important. Enforcement. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, is responsible for enforcing immigration laws, including identifying and removing individuals who are not authorized to be in the U.S. Do I need to read that again, guys? ICE, immigrants hate so much, and people on the left, these mad liberal leftists hate so much. ICE is responsible for enforcing immigration laws. Just doing their jobs, guys, including identifying and removing individuals who are not authorized to be in the U.S. Border Patrol agents and other law enforcement agencies are also involved in enforcing immigration laws at the border. You break the law, they hold you accountable for that. You break the law, you go to jail. Trump offering you these illegal immigrants to go back to where they came from is generous just because you're not going to jail. He could throw you in jail. These ICE people could throw you in jail. When you break the law, you go to jail. You should be so ecstatic. You should be first in line on that flight, first in line to buy a ticket if you are not here legally. Yes, I know the process can be sometimes effed up. Yes, I know some things may seem unfair sometimes. But life's unfair, man. Get in line. You're not special. You'll figure out a way to do it the right way. If you really want it that bad and have a moral conscience and are a decent human being. But so many people aren't decent human beings. So I get why this is so far-fetched, but let's strive to be decent, okay? Let's strive to be more understanding for somebody with a decent, logical perspective. Because that's the only way. Life is tough. That's the only way life will be a little bit better for you. Life will go a little easier for you. To not break laws. Life will be a little bit easier for you. Again, I don't get why this has to be a conversation and people think it's so far-fetched to call immigrants criminals just because they're not quote-unquote violent. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? But never want to talk about, and the fact the violent, not violent argument gets thrown out the window. Look at all these immigrants looting, breaking into people's homes. Oh my gosh, in the beginning of this year, there were so many stories about that happening. At the end of last year as well. Illegal immigrants just barging into people's homes. The people protesting angrily. I've seen it in downtown Los Angeles. Protesting mad, aggressive, cutting people off on the street. You telling me that's not violent? And it's so funny, the people protesting in the street, again, a lot of it is fake outrage. A lot of them are not here illegally. They're not. But they had a great-grandmother or great-great-grandmother that maybe came here without papers or, came here from Mexico, pardon me, or whatever, wherever, and feel like they gotta stand up. They gotta be outraged because, they came from a Latino country. It's the popular thing to do, to be upset, to riot in streets. So we're just gonna riot in streets. Again, I say, y'all got too much, people that riot and in the march, y'all got too much time in y'all hands. I'm like, it can't, whatever you're going through, it can't be that bad to do it every day. Again, there's nothing, riots and stuff that happened during the Martin Luther King era, that it made sense. Because those people were literally seen as less than. They were getting murdered every day. Illegal immigrants are not being murdered every day. They're being the complete opposite. They're being coddled, babied. For actually being criminals. Which black people back then did nothing wrong and were treated like criminals. Did nothing wrong and were treated like criminals. That's when you can rise up and riot in the streets. When people are treating you like a criminal and you're not. But you are a criminal and you're rioting or for criminals? You want criminals to get away with things? That is the definition to me of insanity. That's insane. And shouldn't be condemned. Should be condemned. Shouldn't be normalized. Again, this is very green, this offer that Donald Trump offered these criminals. But we'll see how well it works. We'll see. But this is crazy. Our what's the word I'm trying to use? You know, everybody looks at America like the ultimate country to be a part of. But when we keep allowing stuff like this to happen, our value keeps on going. It goes down and down. Again, it's like a VIP club. If everybody can access it, if people that didn't pay their dues, people that have people you wouldn't respect are also allowed to get into this VIP club, it's no longer a VIP club. It's just a regular club. That's what I feel like the U.S. is becoming. But I'm hopeful Trump is going to turn it around. Again, he's done so much already. That proves he's on the right path. But I'm not one of those people that agrees with everything Trump does. I'm not one of those people that, understands everything Trump does. I'll admit that. And this is one of them. But I'm never going to root for my president to fail. I'm never, because he represents us, whether you believe it or not. He is our president. And people that say, like, oh, Barack Obama is my forever president. Oh, Michelle Obama is my forever first lady. You're also delusional. They're as delusional as these illegal immigrants, illegal migrants, illegal aliens. Trump is our president. Believe it or not. And I would say the same thing if Kamala had won. I'd probably despise her secretly in the background. But I would never root for her to fail, because if she fails, we all fail. Same with Trump. So, again, I might be absolutely wrong. This plan could work with Trump, doing this. Or he has an alternate plan that's a little more aggressive. After people refuse to do this, maybe he comes back with, okay, y'all didn't take my offer. Now, when we go to each one of y'all's doors, one by one, and ICE starts removing people that are unauthorized in the U.S. more aggressively, I don't want to hear a thing. I don't want to hear a peep from anybody, because I gave you an opportunity. You had no excuse that you couldn't afford the flight, that you didn't have any money. He offered both those things to you. So then he comes back aggressive. That would be insane. I would be 100% behind that if Trump later says that. Because again, it's smart. It's something I feel like God would do. Not equating Trump to Jesus Christ or God, right? But if you read in the Bible, God gives so many people, so many stories in there where God gives them an opportunity to do right by telling them not to do something. And if they make the choice, it's all 100% on them. If they choose not to do it or to do it, then drastic measures happen. A woman gets turned into a pillar of salt. You guys know that story. It works every single time. So, we'll see. We'll see. But you guys know we never know with Trump. Trump is, and I think that's why I'm so excited about him. I don't think he's somebody who's going to save us. He's not our savior, like Jesus Christ will be and is. But I really believe he's going to turn around, and I love that sometimes he does things that surprises me. A lot of the times he does things that surprise me. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because the surprises are good. They're mostly good. If the surprises were mostly bad, then maybe I would have something to say about it. Then maybe, not maybe, I would. I'd be like, oh, this is not okay. But again, I'm never rooting for somebody that's running our country to fail, especially when they're doing something like this. Because again, it just shows Trump. People think he's this cold-hearted, evil person, equated him to Hitler. This proves that he's not that type of person. Again, this was so nice of him. This offer wouldn't have came around from any other decent president. Never. But Trump is showing compassion. He really is. Because you know what Trump is probably thinking? Like, we just left an administration with Biden. And Biden, you know, they let all these illegal immigrants in and didn't do anything about it. Let in a bunch of them. Do your research. So the people that came here illegally were not condemned, were allowed a pass to come here and didn't get punished. So he may understand why, you know, some of them don't think they did anything wrong. Because we had a world leader that also made them feel like they didn't do anything wrong. So that's probably where his perspective was when offering this deal. Again, I have my opinion, but I also can understand from other people's point of views. I always think about what other people might be thinking, you know, and you know, try to be understanding, because, you know, Trump is seeing things that I'm not seeing, right? Trump has a mind that I don't have. So, absolutely. Hello, ATM. ATM says Trump is definitely not Hitler. He's just doing him. I think you mean. And people are mad that we actually have a president that is running the country. Abso-freaking-lutely. People don't know what leadership looks like. I've said that on a previous show as well. And now they've been begging for it, and now they get it, and they're like, wait, what is this? So it's because they're so used to Biden, they're so used to Barack being a puppet and doing what, you know, they're told to do, when Trump isn't like that at all. Trump says what he says, means what he says, and follows through. No one is pulling his strings. He's pulling his own strings. This is what real leadership looks like, guys. Yes, it might look harsh sometimes. Yes, it might look ugly. Yes, it might look extreme. But extreme causes... Extreme... What is the phrase? Extreme something measures... Extreme measures? I forget the term. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Extreme causes for extreme measures. Is that how it goes? I think that's it. But yeah, the numbers didn't lie. So many legal immigrants came here in the U.S. in 2024. In 2020 to 2024. So Trump has to fix it. And again, we'll see if this actually gets fixed, or we won't see. But the point is, guys, illegal immigrants are criminals. They're criminals. I know there's grace and compassion in a lot of people's heart, and I love that for you. But just because you have compassion, just because you can maybe understand why they came, doesn't excuse them for committing crimes. It doesn't. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I was trying to get it out, ATM. You know what I mean. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look up the actual quote later and make sure I say it right next time I use it. But anyways, like I said, we can't excuse criminal behavior because then it becomes normalized. and then people are going to feel comfortable committing crimes left and right. We're going to question what is legal and what's not, because you've allowed passes for somebody to get away with this crime, but not this one. Laws will have to be tampered with. It's going to be a whole mess, and I don't want that. Our laws are pretty good right now. Yes, there's some things maybe they need a little tweaking, but this one is not one of them. It's not. And that's all I gotta say about that. All right, guys, please like this video. If you liked this video, please comment always. I love to hear you guys' opinions. Subscribe if you haven't already, and turn that notification bell on so you don't miss an episode. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye. Happy Monday.
Aquel día el instinto nos decía que esa noche juntico no quería, que las ganas bebé nos quemaría, pero no fue así. Vamos lento, ya, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, ya, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela y vamos a jugar. Ella sabe que quiero a mi mamacita. Ella también quiere que seamos felices. Ella, la que se apresura a la vueltica. Ella es sin timidez. Como la ves no le importa dónde y cuándo. Nada no es, yo no soy el que la mando. Nunca lo seré, su carácter no es de niña, que la puede controlar cualquiera. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente. Vamos lento y verás. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente. Vamos lento y verás. Vamos lento, ya, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, ya, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela y vamos. Los 7 días de la semana te doy de mañana, y consejos sabes que no es. Te doy el desquite, que me quites todas esas ganas que te tengo muerto. Todo el mundo sabe que tú y yo somos más que panas, pero nos vamos lento, que el que se apura no llega a nada, no llega a nada, nada. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente, bebé. Vamos lento y verás. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente, bebé. Vamos lento y verás. Vamos lento, ya, que si no